So when did you start seeing wrestling in that? I mean, I feel like you...
That Vince doc. And then I hit you up, and I was just talking to you nonstop.
Yeah.
And also shout out Tommy Invincible. You and I talk about Tommy Invincible. You and I talk about Tommy Invincible almost on a weekly basis, and I watch every single video he puts out. I scroll through every single carousel. I got to throw it up. I got to throw up the fucking...
Wow, you just made his life.
Yo, shout out to Tommy. Let me get the mic out.
Shout out to Tommy Invincible.
Listen, he is the Bronx United States champion.
Bronx, yeah.
He's the Bronx United States champion.
BUS.
And he's a tag team champ as well.
That's huge for him.
This guy's getting belts, man.
Yeah.
Nonstop. I love this guy.
I saw him at the Hammerstein Ballroom earlier this year.
He's shutting it down.
Shutting it down.
Shut that fucking thing down.
Down.
Dude, Cardona was shaking in his boots.
He didn't know what to do.
He didn't know what to do.
I'm telling you, this is a guy, right, who's this independent pro wrestler who's just trying to make it, right?
Just trying to make it for decades. He's been trying to make it.
He's got the word Invincible tattooed across his back, shoulder to shoulder. And he walks out there, man, and these videos are so great because he's getting prepped as if he was going into MetLife Stadium.
He's pouring the Poland Spring on his head before he walks out.
He's getting hyped up, and then he opens that curtain, and there's maybe 15 people?
7 people in an elementary school classroom.
That's right.
In the middle of the Bronx.
And he circles the entire ring. And he hasn't lost
every 5.
Every 5 hasn't lost any of that enthusiasm. Like, yeah, we're going to do this.
Dude, I love when he engages with people in the comments. He goes, somebody was like, he said, bro's getting so excited. There's 7 people in the crowd. He goes, I'd get just as excited if there was 1. Dude, and listen, at first you're like, okay, this is absurd. He's getting this excited about it, and then you go, oh, he really is grateful that he gets to do it.
Yeah.
And when I looked at it through that lens, I was like, this guy's my fucking hero.
He's being genuine.
Yeah. How often, like, you go to a show and there's only a few people at the comedy show and, like, you're like, oh, damn, there's only 7 people. It's going to be whatever. Instead of going, oh, my God, I get to go up and do stand-up comedy.
Right.
Like, he has the exact attitude about pursuing your dream that we should all fucking have.
Yeah, because that's the way it's supposed to be. You started in this thing, and it's like, man, if I could just get on a stage,
and then you
that
do
would
it,
be it.
And then that dream goes away.
Right.
Like, you take that for granted.
Right.
You're like, I'm already on stages.
I should be on stages.
Yeah.
Yeah. I should be in an arena. It's like, whoa. Like, what about this guy over here that just let me touch a mic? And that's who Tommy Invincible is.
And let me tell you something. When he does that, when he is giving whoever's going up against him that sweet sin,
you know,
I feel invincible, bro.
You do?
I feel fucking invincible, dude. Look at this guy.
He's giving hugs.
Soaking wet. Hugging everybody.
And they don't even have to stand for him. They're staying seated.
That's right.
And he's like, that's fine. Let me
I'm
carry
gonna
the
hug
energy.
you.
I'm hugging
gonna hug you.
I'm going to carry this energy for both of us.
Exactly.
Because I'm invincible. And that's part of being invincible, right?
100%.
Nothing's going to kill my spirit.
No.
Nothing. Even if you decide to stay seated, that's fine.
Look at that ceiling. Fucking perfect mirrored ceiling.
Perfect mirrored ceiling. I wouldn't jump off the top rope. It's a little low.
It's a little.
But that's fine. That's fine. He's not an aerial, guy.
Yet.
Put him in a building with a high ceiling.
And then he's out.
See what this guy can do.
This guy can bounce.
See what this guy can do.
Just saying, he's a legend.
Look at the Poland Spring.
He's a legend.
Over his head.
He's an absolute legend.
Whew. And I mean, you know what I love about this stuff?
Yeah.
I just love in any industry. There's something to me that I love more so than somebody who kind of makes it.
Yeah.
I love somebody that is staying on the pursuit no matter what.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Yeah.
Like, because the pursuit is everything.
Yeah.
The pursuit is why we do all of this.
Yeah.
So to see somebody that's like, no, maybe they didn't make it as quick as they thought they were going to, but the pursuit, like, hasn't changed. It's been years.
Because he reminds us of all of us.
Right. The pursuit hasn't changed one iota. Are we strong enough, Andrew Schultz, to say that if we hadn't made it yet in some way, shape, or form, we'd still be going after it? He is. That makes him better than us.
Makes him better than
us. If we say no by now, I would have had to figure something out. And he's like, what are you talking about? I figured it out.
Yeah, I'm the U.S. Bronx champion.
And a tag team champion. Yeah. Look at all these people.
To me, he seems pretty fucking invincible, if you ask me.
Yeah, he's figured it out.
2 different belts, 2 different organizations.
Yeah, he's going.
What the fuck is AEW doing?
I don't know.
Get off your ass.
Get him.
WWE.
Get him.
H, what's going on?
What are you doing, H?
What's going on? You got a superstar. You have a superstar in the Bronx, New York.
I do love, too, that you're getting more and more involved, and you are going to be able.
This is all your fault, by the way.
You are going to be.
Anything that I do, and we were saying this before, anything that I ever do in wrestling, this is all by the design of Sam Roberts.
Okay.
You are the puppet master behind all of this, okay? I watched one Vince doc. I call you immediately. My wife passed out, and I'm in my bathroom whispering, and I'm so excited I can't even whisper anymore. I just talk in full volume, just like, what the hell is going on? This guy's a genius.
And I go, here's the deal.
I love this guy. It's like I end up loving him at the end.
I mean, here, I never told anybody, but since you brought it up, Schultz goes, okay, Sam, we're having Cody on the pod. I go, that's great.
No, let me tell you. Okay. So this is even this. Oh wait, did you tell me I have to watch a Vince doc? No.
You hit me up and you were like, yo, I just watched this Vince doc.
I'm watching the Vince doc and I'm getting into different stuff. I mean, like I'm getting into like.
You said, here's what you said.
Yeah.
I watched the Vince doc. I can't believe I wasn't up on this pro wrestling stuff.
Because I went as a kid. I saw Undertaker, I saw Ultimate Warrior at the Prudential Center, and I believe it was Prudential Center in Jersey.
Yeah, the Meadowlands.
Where the Nets used to play. And I remember seeing it as a kid. I had the fucking toy. I had everything as a kid. Okay, I'm locked in. And then I remember during like The Rock and stuff like that, it got very popular. The book came out and everything. It got into it a little bit, and then it kind of went away.
Yeah.
I watched this doc, and keep in mind, I'm doing this like learning how to tell story and learning like how.
Oh, so it hit you right at the right time.
Well, and I'm like,
oh wow.
And I'm learning it as this perfect like reflection of American society and culture. And I also love this idea that heat is just heat, negative or positive.
Just
and
get
it
a
can
reaction.
Be used in any way that you want.
And you kind of shift to the reaction. Like if you go, we're gonna go out, we're gonna get this reaction. You get a different reaction. Okay. And the good ones, they know in the moment
what to do.
We got to shift this. Like, I mean, there are matches where it's like, I need to start working differently because they're booing me. I need to start working like a heel. And I need to make sure this guy understands, like, you need to start working like a face because they're cheering you and they're booing me. So we need to switch it up right now.
Next level shit.
It's crazy.
Next level shit. Anyway,
it's crazy.
So I'm watching it. I start getting into like these characters that like R-Truth. I was watching all the R-Truth clips, and I was just watching, and I'm sending you messages from this, and I'm just like, I love this guy. He's like getting the other guys to break character.
Yes.
He's so funny that the other guys are laughing in the ring.
Yes.
And he kind of just reminds me of what I would want to do in that situation, which is like, okay, I could be like a little naughty boy right now and just destroy it all. But it works so well that now it builds up his character.
Right.
So there's no loss of energy. That's what I like. If you're doing a play on Broadway, if you go do your own thing, even if the audience likes it, the writer's going to come up to you after that and go, that's not how we wrote this. Mm-hmm. Don't change the lines. Don't act differently. This is my baby, and you are here to just breathe life into it.
Yeah.
But in wrestling, you do something crazy, and it works.
Right.
H is coming down. He's going, we really like what you did. If it fails, they're going to go, we don't need you to ever do that again.
Right.
But you eat what you hunt.
That's right.
It's kind of beautiful meritocracy.
You can prepare all you want, but once you get out there, like here's the story before we get in front of an audience.
Yes.
Now we do it.
Yeah. Whatever happens, we are going to react to in the moment.
Yeah.
And
the audience is reacting live in the building. It's live on television. Like there's no takebacks.
And it's on. It reminds me of stand-up in a lot of ways. Where it's like I can tell you this joke and want you to react a certain way. If you don't, I have to acknowledge that energy.
Right. And get out of it. Move over here. Still get to where you want to go.
100%.
Yeah.
So I remember I was like, okay, we asked, or I don't know if they reached out, but I think maybe WWE reached out about Cody. And I was like, I'm just off this Vince doc. And I'm like, this is fucking awesome, but I want to do justice to this interview. So I hit you up and I go, can you like help me with this? Like, can you give me some background information, some stuff that I might not know, et cetera? And you gave me like listen, if any of you watched that interview with Cody and you're like, how the fuck does Schultz know this? Schultz didn't know any of it. Actually, Sam Roberts put all that information in my head, and we talked for hours, and you gave me like play by play. I'm talking about text messages that were released, tweets that came out. Even in the interview, I'm watching Cody look over like, oh, you're like aware of, because I think they're used to doing certain platforms that are unaware of what's happening in the world of wrestling.
They don't even get what the world of wrestling is.
Yeah, they like know that they're the champ, but they don't really know any of the storylines or anything else.
Right.
So like kind of like maybe a quarter of the way in, he goes, oh shit, I'm kind of in like a home game here. Like these guys know me. And then he started dropping like some real deep cut information about what's going on behind the scenes, building up this stuff. And it was fantastic, but all credit to you. I mean, that was...
No.
I knew nothing before. I was familiar with Cody, but you gave me just an unbelievable breakdown.
No, I was very proud of you when I watched it because you knew how to put every piece together. It was fantastic. But the funniest part to me was we were texting, and you're like, what's Cody's deal? And I was like, well, what do you mean, what's his deal? And you're like, what's his deal? And I go, well, what do you know about him? And you're like, nothing. And I go, what do you want to know about him? And you're like, everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, this is going to need to be a phone call. If you're serious, if you're sincere, this is going to need to be a phone call. And you're right. And then we got on the phone, and it was hours of, where do you want to start? Because I said,
go.
Start from the beginning.
I want to know from the beginning.
And I go, okay.
Because I was familiar with this story arc. Like him becoming champion and what this meant.
Right. Finish the story.
So I was peripherally familiar with it, and I was like, wow, what amazing storytelling. Like, was that on purpose? Like, him leaving, was it by design? Like, I was aware of it peripherally.
And it was so funny because before this, I just remember the only time you guys had talked wrestling was like, I think right after WrestleMania 40, Akash was kind of like explaining it to you.
And
but he got it wrong.
Yeah.
But it was like from a casual point of view.
Yes.
I got it.
Yes.
It was like Akash just kind of turned on. He was like, this is great.
Yeah,
I loved that he was being positive.
He was super enthusiastic about it.
But all the wrestling fans were like, that's not right. I was like, and I was on their side too because I was like, Nathan, you're right. It isn't right. But
it's like, I feel like wrestling fans are they know so much. We were talking about this before the pod. Like, they're aware of, it's very meta, right? Where it's like they're aware of the storytelling. They're aware of the heel, the face, and they're aware of all the characters. They know everything. They know when they're being manipulated. Yeah. So you almost have to like manipulate the manipulation.
Yes.
That's the only way to kind of catch them.
And that's what you want as a fan.
Like, yeah. You're asking, trick me twice.
Yeah.
I know you're going to try to trick me.
Right. You're like, here's the suspension. There's a suspension of disbelief.
Yeah.
And by the way, like, you kind of have to stay in it. Like, it can't be suspension of disbelief for the 2-hour television show. Yeah. It's like, no. Like, permanent suspension of disbelief.
Yeah.
But I have the internet. And I know the inside stories. And I know what's really going on. I know who's in charge.
Yep.
I know who he likes and doesn't like in real life.
Yeah.
I know who he's pushing.
Yeah.
I know who he's burying.
Yeah.
I know all this stuff. So now you have to take all that into context and make it a story.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Right?
It's crazy.
And it becomes this whole other, like, story on a story on a story.
Yeah, it was insane.
But
go.
You.
Yeah.
I mean... And I don't know if I'm a bad influence, but all of a sudden you get exposed, and I felt like I was the primer,
dude.
And then you get exposed by sitting in the front row.
You know, we weren't supposed to sit there.
Really?
I think Logan set that up.
Put you in the front row.
We were supposed to sit behind like McAfee, like in that
where the
area.
other celebrity, Macaulay Culkin was there, like the other or whoever.
So there's like a section, and that's where we were all going to go, and then last second. We get switched, and I'm so excited because we get to be like front row.
Right.
Now, I'm thinking back, and I'm like, this motherfucker planned that shit.
So
he puts me up so that he can play off of the fact that these are my people in New York City.
Right.
Like, he's not stupid. He knows that people are going to fucking hate him.
Right.
So now he's trying to throw that on me. And there was this weird like confusion where he goes, oh yeah, my buddy Schultz is here, and then the audience is like, wait a minute, we like Schultz.
Because it's New York.
But we don't like, what the fuck is going on here?
Right.
And I'm like, am I supposed to take this on the chin for you when you don't even, if you hit me up before and you're like, hey, can you help me with this thing? But my wife is there. I'm sitting there. You're gonna let me get fucking booed in the middle of.
You've been in that building. You performed in that building.
Twice, but we don't have to count. You know what I mean? It's just not a big deal. But it was 2 times. I don't want to count it out. I'm
sold out or not sold out or sold out?
I mean, it was sold out both times.
Okay.
Like,
both times.
No big deal.
Okay.
You know? A lot of people asked us to do a third show, but the Knicks ended up doing well in the playoffs. But no, it's not a big deal.
Right. So
I'm not competing here.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm really not competing.
No.
But yeah, and like what a scumbag fucking move.
Because that is true, right? Because Logan Paul represents like the celebrity coming into wrestling without the respect for the industry, without the everything. So you think he's like, no, I'm going to go to Schultz to be
I'm going to use him as a buffer. And I'm going to use him to be qualified. And then now I got to either, if I side with him, It's funny because he had his HBO show. The thing came out, and there's this thing where he doesn't like have. He's like, sometimes it's hard for me to have empathy for people. And I'm like, oh yeah, I fucking get it now. When I'm sitting there with my wife and my best friends trying to enjoy Raw at MSG, I'm really excited.
And you developed a relationship with Logan Paul from the pod.
I've known this guy for years.
Right.
Like literally, I've known him for years, and I'm like, this guy's incredibly talented. Like I didn't even see him do the wrestling shit. I know he gets trash for like being like this YouTube star that's coming in, but objectively, he's fucking good at the thing. Like some of these moves are incredible. And the guy is pretty strong. I'm not gonna lie. Like I didn't want him to be strong.
You felt that. You felt that.
I didn't want to get dragged to the fucking ring. With my wife right there.
Yeah.
That's what I had to tell my wife. I was like, it's fake. Wrestling's totally fake, babe. I was in on
that
whole thing. What do you think? You thought that's real? No, not at all. This is totally anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the idea to like set me up is like such a fucking, it's just like dirtbag fucking. But it's maybe to that thing he was saying in the show, just maybe a lack of empathy. Like you're not even considering how it could make me feel or how it could,
just what benefits me right now. I'll use this human being. I'll use whatever.
Which is, I imagine, what's happening even in wrestling, right? Where it's just like, oh, I'm going to use this thing. This is going to be my maybe it's boxing, maybe it's vlogs, maybe it's prime. No, now it's wrestling. I'll do wrestling, and that will be the next thing that feeds me.
Right.
I get the frustration. There's a lot of wrestlers that put fucking 3 decades into this business. They're like, this is all I do. I'm not going to hop on to another thing. I'm not going to monkey bar to the next thing. This is all I'm going to do, and then I'm going to retire, and I hopefully get to talk about it.
Right. So there's a priority in making the business better, not just benefiting from it. Leeching. Some would say leeching.
That's.
Some would say leeching.
Listen, are you full-time or not?
Right.
Because these guys are traveling.
You say.
But do you
talk?
Do you say, but do you do?
Do you do?
Yeah.
Would it feel like being active? Okay, so you go from, within a matter of months, a phone conversation, getting to the bottom of Cody Rhodes, watching the Vince not getting to the bottom of what wrestling even is.
It's almost getting suplexed in fucking Madison Square Garden, my home.
You're in the ring. When your feet are on the canvas.
I'm looking for you, and I'm just like, fuck you. I'm like, you piece of shit. Why did you get me involved in this? And you're just sitting there like, everything that I wanted.
I thought it was great. I thought the whole thing was great. I was like, any way this one goes, if he gets his face smashed into the mat, if AJ however this goes, I love it.
Oh, it was great when AJ came in, and also I'm in there like I don't really know what the fuck to do, like because I'm like, do we jump this guy? Like what's going on?
Right.
So when AJ,
all right, so that's weird, right? Because now you're in this confrontation, but also as a performer, you're surrounded by an arena full of people.
So, I'm like, I'm like, what do I do right now? Like, I'm also living out like a childhood dream. I am at Raw, I'm in the fucking ring.
But you got this influencer trying to beat you up.
And I'm, in front of my wife.
Right.
So there's this part of me that's like, I got to, stand up for myself. And then AJ comes in, and then he starts doing his thing, and there's this funny moment where I just look so stupid, but like I'm so excited that AJ starts fucking up Logan that I'm like holding onto the ropes, and I just start going, yeah, and I'm just I don't know what to do. Like I'm looking for a chair. I'm like, McAfee, give me your fucking chair. Let me break this guy's head open. Like I got no clue what you're supposed to do in those moments, but AJ handled it. And then AJ goes, and I'm just in the middle of the thing with AJ, and everybody's going crazy. AJ goes, go do, oh fuck, what's the term when you jump on the turnbuckles or whatever?
Get up on the second rope.
Yeah, but he said is there a term for it?
I don't know what his term would be.
He said something. I was like, what? He goes, here, jump on the ropes. And I was like, all right. I fucking jumped the rope. I think I might be the only wrestling adjacent person in history that has gotten flipped into the ring, rolled into the ring, almost suplexed, and jumped on the top rope and celebrated. Like I did something.
Yeah.
Like I don't even think AJ celebrated. I think I jumped on the second rope and I said, I did it!
Look what I just did! I was associated with this. Yeah. But it is an accomplishment, even though, New York loves you, the idea that a wrestling audience cheered a celebrity. Whenever a wrestling audience cheers a celebrity, that's extra difficult. There's something in tune with us.
Tell me, like, what is the relationship usually like when you have these cameos?
Well, it depends on if they're in. Like, if people don't know...
I hate even allowing you to call me a celebrity, by the way.
Well, it's going to happen.
I have, like, a little feeling about it.
So I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
Jeremy Piven was on an episode of Raw once.
Got it.
The WWE does a huge event every year called SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And this was leading up to SummerSlam, and he's in there with John Cena in this big segment. And he says, well, I think whoever wins this match will main event at the Summerfest. And the minute... he's getting booed out of the building, and for the rest of his life, wrestling fans have no time for this guy because it's like, you showed up, You got in the ring with John, and you don't even know what SummerSlam is?
Yeah.
It's Summerfest?
Yeah, no, I see that because then it just looks like a promotional opportunity.
Right.
And I get that. And there's probably like a part of that when I was first there. Like there's this, he's got the special coming out, and now it's
and that's why you got booed, especially with Logan Paul, because it's like, another one of Logan's like celebrity friends trying to glom on, especially because wrestling's hot now.
I get it. But also it's like, I live in New York. I didn't book Raw the week after my special comes out.
You did not.
No, I didn't call up, hey, H, by the way, my special's coming out. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, my special's coming out, so can you book Raw the week after in New York City, in my city? Would you do that? That'd be really nice. Yeah. So, but of course, I'm like, okay, this is going to be, this is going to be cool. So
you're doing interviews and stuff after, and you've done it not like wrestling promos, but you've been on like Theo's podcast and other podcasts acting like you're not done, like you want to be more involved in wrestling.
Yeah, no, I mean,
and like you want to hurt Logan.
I don't even want to be more involved in wrestling. I like watching wrestling. I just like it. I think it's cool. I like talking to the guys. I don't have like aspirations to wrestle or anything like that. Right. But there is Logan and I have to have a conversation.
Conversation.
Yeah, there has to be a conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, it's disrespectful.
That has to be a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and without AJ, there has to be a conversation.
Just you two.
I mean, if it gets rough, I hope AJ pulls up immediately.
Okay, so maybe like without AJ, but he's right outside the room type of thing.
Have the music ready.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Have the music ready. No, but we need to talk about that. I thought that was like an absurd.
No, I think you're right.
I just thought it was an absurd notion. But I also do understand like wrestling fans feeling that way about celebs, especially if there is a celeb that has been like a wrestling fan their entire, like I imagine like the energy towards Bad Bunny is not negative, right?
We love Bad Bunny.
Because you can tell it's like a pure, real thing. He loves the sport.
Loves it. And puts the work in.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's more this feeling like, I'm going to relate it to comedy, but it's just like, if you're teasing somebody from a certain place or you're going to another place and you're making jokes and they're just like the hacky surface level shit, they roll their eyes. But if you show them that you've done a little like research and you know stuff about the place, it's actually like the complete inverse reaction. They're like, whoa, I really like this guy because he made the effort to make me feel seen here. He's not just extracting. He's trying to build. And
respecting your art, you and your art form, meaning like if it's like a person who's got notoriety from something outside of stand-up that goes in, it's one thing to just start booking theaters and going like, yep, I'm going to do an hour stand-up. It's another thing.
We'll be annoyed by it. Yeah.
Right. But if they started coming in and doing clubs and going to you for advice and coming in every single night and going like, no, I really, and you could tell, they want to get good at this.
Yeah.
You'd embrace that.
Yeah, 100%. I also think like, especially with that card, you know, like with Seth and CM Punk at the end, like you're talking about like real veterans, put the work in.
And we as wrestling fans have been waiting for that story. Don't steal that.
Exactly. So it's just, I thought that, and maybe even that's why they liked what I said in the ring, because it was like, hey, we're not here for this shit. This is distracting.
I think
from, you know, it's because that's why I was showing up. I was like, I want to see these guys.
There's a cage match in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, and also like how much longer are they going to wrestle?
Right.
I don't know how much longer, but like how much longer are you gonna see those guys at the top of their game?
Right. At this level? Are you gonna go to WrestleMania? You gotta go to WrestleMania.
I don't know.
You should.
It would be so cool.
It'd be nuts,
dude. Easter weekend.
It is.
And I have a 14-month-old daughter.
Bro, I got 3 kids. I'm going to WrestleMania. Damn it. Come on, dude.
Yeah, but it's built. You're like 20 years in the game. I got 30 years in the game. It's like
not only do I have 3 kids, 2 of them are old enough to remember that I missed an Easter for WrestleMania.
That's funny.
It's happening. Sorry.
That's funny.
Sorry.
How many matches have been announced on the days that they're going to happen?
I don't know that anything has been officially announced as to which day. Like, you mean between Saturday and Sunday?
That's what I'm saying, because like there are people that I you know are going to buy tickets for the weekend, of course, but not everybody can afford a ticket for the entire weekend.
Right.
So like, if you're buying a ticket right now before you know who's,
so you're going to assume that like the biggest match, I would think, is Cody and Cena.
Of course.
And
so that's going to be Sunday?
You would assume that headline Sunday.
Got it.
You would assume Seth, Punk, and Roman Reigns is going to headline Saturday.
Yeah.
That would be the assumption. And then beyond that, they usually try to like sculpt out 2 shows that are fairly equal in value.
When do you think Logan and AJ are going to get after it?
Well, that's a good question. You're saying maybe missing the Saturday before Easter.
I'm not saying anything.
Okay. But if it I mean, do you think it'd be more convenient if it were on the WrestleMania Saturday?
I'm not saying anything.
Okay.
I'm just saying if Tommy Invincible happens to be walking around a casino in Vegas and he sees Logan Paul, he might have a heel turn.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Maybe send Tommy Invincible.
I'm just,
yeah.
I'm just saying. I got hitters out there in the Bronx.
You do.
That do dirty work. Very dirty work.
Mainly Tommy Invincible.
I'm just telling you right now.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's certainly a world where AJ and Logan go on a Saturday, you know?
Because that's not Easter, you know?
That's not Easter. No, it isn't.
Leaves plenty of time for Easter.
No, it does. It does.
It would leave a lot of time for Easter and to be with family.
It's Vegas. You can catch a red eye. You're home on Sunday before the baby even
You know
wakes
what's
up.
even crazier is that my wife's family is actually in Santa Barbara, which is like an hour flight.
That's really close.
So if there was a situation where, you know, something popped up, you know what I mean, it would be very probably easy to access, hypothetically speaking.
If you're just throwing things up in the air.
We're throwing things up in the air and just seeing what sticks.
Right.
An hour flight from, you know, Santa Barbara, California, lovely Santa Barbara, California, in and out.
Boom.
You know, maybe I wasn't even there, actually. Maybe just something happened. Matter of fact, I'm probably with my family.
Probably
with my family.
Probably.
You know, so if there was a masked guy that did anything there, it definitely probably wouldn't be me.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
It'd probably be somebody else because I'm with my family in Santa Barbara.
Last year, Jason Kelsey showed up in a luchador mask, so you just never know.
If I saw a 6'7" Mexican
in Philly, by the way, it was in Philly.